The Street Fighter 6 music sucks. Or is at least what people say. To be honest, I've been planning this video for a very long time. Now that Street Fighter 6 is maybe about 30 days away from its release, I decided that we are probably going to be ranking all 18 character soundtrack themes in Street Fighter 6. Some people have said the music can be hit or miss, and I have to see for myself, so I wanted to wait until all the songs were released, until the game is, like, you know, coming to its official release. But now that we're getting very close to it, we might as well check out the soundtrack for ourselves and see if the songs are good or bad. So let's get into it. Go. Okay, okay. It gives me, like, very, like, heist movie marathon vibes to it, though, but with Japanese instruments in the background. But does it fit Ryu? Not entirely, I don't think so, but at least it's capturing, like, the aesthetic of where Ryu's technically at. I mean, it's an alright song. I'll give it at least that. Okay, for me personally, Ryu's theme is sometimes, like, y'all could think of, like, the nostalgic theme from, like, Street Fighter 2 mainly, but Ryu's theme, in my honest opinion, can be very groovy at times, and it's got a bunch of Japanese instruments in the background that you can technically hear, and so far, this is what I was expecting for Street Fighter 6, because the aesthetic and the hip-hop vibe that they're going for is basically giving me Third Strike vibes. But, yeah, let's move on to Chun-Li now. Okay, this is very different compared to the other themes. And I don't like that sound effect, though, in the background. It kind of threw me off right there. I mean, it's groovy, but I'll at least say that it's just that part right there throws me off, at least. It kind of pulls me out. I will say it does make my head bob a little bit while I'm at it. Guessing this is round 2? Alright. This one, okay. This one is okay at the very least, though. It's not bad per se, but it's got, like, a very groovy vibe for it, though, and I can see where they're going with this. It feels completely different from all the other themes that Chun-Li has had over the years in Street Fighter, but this one is, like, very groovy and kind of makes you shows that she's matured more over the years and now is the master. But yeah, let's move on to Luke now. Oh, the DJ scratch in the background, though. Okay, actually, I will admit, though, I actually think this is a better theme than Chun-Li, in my opinion. It gives me, like, a very, like, young and hip vibe, mainly, kind of like what my generation is. But at the same time, it's still, like, I know most of the boomers are gonna be freaking out about this song, because they hate Luke and yada yada yada. Yeah, this one's a good song. This one, actually, I enjoy way more than Chun-Li's, because this one is more about, like, instead of Luke being all dorky, like he normally is, he kind of thinks himself as cool, but he wants to be cool. So, if that's the more explanatory reason for it, though, in my opinion. But, yeah, let's move on to Jamie then. Okay. Mr. Top Player is what the theme is called. Damn, this one is funky. Alright, this one I actually like too. This one is giving me like Third Strike vibes, mainly for like the fighting mainly and the gameplay aesthetic to it. And it's also really capturing Jamie's feel for, you know, being a drunken breakdance boxer. Like, it basically just says, I'm beating the hell out of people, but having a good time. So, this one makes you feel good. Like, you have some, like, accomplishment of what you're doing, you know? That's what I like the idea of. The mixture of all the other instruments they're doing, and with the rapping and hip-hop vibe to it, though. But, yeah, we're gonna move on to Guile now. Okay. This one, I am not entirely sure, because I mean, it's very American vibes mainly, but it's not as memorable as like the Street Fighter 2 Guile theme mainly. But again, they're going with something different though, but this one ain't for me. I honestly think Guile's theme in this game is probably the most forgettable in the entire game. I know what they're trying to do, but it just doesn't hit right for me. I normally don't feel nothing with this entirely, but, yeah, I guess that's it. Guile's theme ain't that very good. I'll just say that. This one, okay, yeah, this one's really good. It's like very 80s vibe to it though, but with the modern hip-hop beat to it. So, cause like everything that Kimberly has going on, it's more of her, like 80s music style, aesthetic, more than the modern stuff, but it's mixed in together, so it sounds pretty unique from out of all the themes I've heard, you know, so far. Yeah, this one's good. I actually like it. Kimberly's theme is very, like, you know, upbeat and very, like, not too much in your face, but just feeling like the vibe mainly with the old 80s music in the background. But yeah, she has a good theme. Now we're gonna move on to Jury. Okay, I will say, this theme is already 10 times better than Jury's theme in Street Fighter V, which was absolute fucking dog water. This one is a breath of fresh air. I like this one. It gives me like very like sinister, like creeping vibes, like it's almost like Arachnid, but the song literally is named Arachnid. Plus it sounds like a bunch of spiders dancing in the attic. And very K-pop vibes too as well with this. You can literally feel it in this song. Alright, this one particularly, this one is already my favorite though too. It's like my third favorite already. I've already said that Luke, Jamie, Kimberly, and Jury are probably my 4 favorite themes so far in this game. But yeah, Jury's got a very good theme. It's definitely a breath of fresh air instead of hearing that dumpster fire of a song in Street Fighter V. But yeah. Now I think we're going to be moving on to Ken's now, so I don't think I remember this one entirely, but let's see if it is. Okay. It's giving me like very like, I've been doing this stuff for too long, but I'm very good at it. Oh my god, okay. Yeah, that one. Already my 5th favorite theme in the game. Oh. This one's already like a 10 out of 10 for me. Yeah, they did Ken's theme justice in this game. Holy shit. Dude. Okay. To be honest though, this whole, like, for people who aren't aware of what the theme is supposed to be replicating, mainly it's supposed to be replicating, Ken's story so far in Street Fighter 6, and apparently he got accused of a crime that he didn't commit, which was, like, acts of terrorism from, like, blowing up a thing. I forget what it was. But then apparently he went on the run, and he apparently can't see his family until the crimes are not charged against him. So, Ken already off the bat in this game, I'm probably gonna main him right off the bat, bro. Like, he's crazy. Dude, oh my god. It gives you very, like, hopeful and hopelessness feels to it, too. It's like, you can hear the cheerful part right here, where it's like, Ken is coming back to, you know, be his regular self again. And then this part sounds very hopeless, you know? So it's like a mixture, of both things mixed in together, and it manages to capture the story of Ken in Street Fighter 6. So, yeah, this one's already my favorite too. This is like my 5th or 6th favorite. I don't even know how long I've been recording, but anyway, let's get into Blanca. Oh, wow. You're telling me that we were just in America not too long ago, and now we're in the back streets of Brazil? Shit. I mean, as much as I hate Blanca, as any other FGC player does, they did not have to give him this much of a banger theme, I'll admit. Like, why does it sound so good? That's what I'm, like, giving the vibe off of. Very, very appropriate for the culture that Blanca's a part of, though, too, because the music is very, like, Brazilian funk style. Makes you just wanna... Yeah, there's already another banger theme right there, dude. As much as I hate fighting up against Blanca, I will admit he does have a really good theme, too, dude. Like, they captured the Brazilian, like, the Brazil culture with everything in the background of his, like, whole entire stage. Like, holy hell, they did a really fascinating job with that. But yeah, move on to Dulcim now. Dulcim got a big ass beard now, bro. He getting old. Alright. This one is giving me, like, huge Bollywood musical vibes, though, too. Like, this shit actually does slap, I will admit. Like, nobody likes fighting up against Dulcim, though, but his theme in this game is fucking good, too. I did not have to go this hard with Blanca and Dulcim's themes, though. Oh my god. I'll admit, there's a lot of good tracks on this list, though. Some of them, Guile's particularly is the most forgettable, but the other ones have been hit or miss. But then the hit ones are Blanca, Ken, Jury, Dulcim, and all that stuff. But yeah, they managed to capture, like, Dulcim's personality, too, with the theme, because he's, like, mastered all of his abilities now at this point, and now he's, like, learned all of the things he could about Yoga Fire and teleporting and stretching arms and all the random shit you'd see in Street Fighter, mainly for him. But, yeah, it's a good theme. I like it. Okay. Very Japanese, too, as well, so that's actually kind of cool. I mean, honestly, this could have been the theme for Ryu, in my opinion, but I guess it fits more for the Japanese cultural thing for E Honda, since he's supposed to be a sumo wrestler, and there's like bathhouses and stuff. You get the idea. And the song's called Kumadori. I don't think it's bad per se, but it's a good jam to listen to. It sounds very chill, and it sounds like you're in like the hot springs of Tokyo, Japan. So it actually fits the idea of E Honda's characterization and appropriation for his aesthetic. But yeah, let's move on to Marisa now. I also kind of like the idea that Marisa's hairstyle is based off of like an actual Roman helmet, so she put a lot of product in that bitch. Gives me like very We Will Rock You vibes, like Queen, Freddie Mercury vibes with the Italian Roman type music in the background. Alright, this one actually is really enjoyable too. Like, it gives you like a very bold and brash epic vibe to it though. Even though like Italy has had some ideas of like their culture with like Roman type stuff. I don't know if I'm actually saying that correctly though, so if I'm saying anything wrong, then comment down below. But overall, the song, it gives me like a very confident vibe. Like, it normally feels like you're going to win something, you know? But it's a good theme. I like it. Now we're moving on to Manon. It's very catwalky vibe, that's what I'll admit. Like a very fashion model type thing where they're showing off like the poses and walking and taking pictures and all that. I don't know, for me it's like, that kind of acquires a certain taste for this type of music in my opinion, so I'm not all about that fancy life. Overall, I will say, it's not a bad song per se, but it just has to have an acquired taste for anybody who's like, you know, into like the modeling and fashion business as well. But overall, it's kind of a, I would say this one's aggressively mid at the least, because it's not doing anything for me. As much as I like the idea of a judo ballet fighter, the idea of her being like a fashion model kind of throws it off, so it just feels weird. But then again, that's Street Fighter for you. Okay, this one's very chill. Gives me like I'm smoking weed and chilling on the beach vibes mainly and surfing. Yeah, this one's good. I like it. It's very chill from all the other themes, to per se at the least. As much as I thought DJ was gonna show up in Street Fighter V, I'm actually honestly really glad he showed up in Street Fighter 6. Jesus Christ, my hair is so long. I'm glad he showed up in Street Fighter 6 though, because I don't think anybody could capture the style just as good as the new game could, because Street Fighter V kind of had no art style to begin with, so this was a breath of fresh air even for DJ. Not entirely sure if this is doing it for me though, but I'm assuming it could just be from all the other stuff that they're coming up with. I guess it's just trying to go more for the uncomfortable feel if I'm assuming correctly. Because if that's what they're going for, then JP's supposed to be like a very unhinged, but very, well, not unhinged. More likely a very intelligent being that could use some dangerous power, mainly, if that's what they're trying to go with. JP's, honestly, is kind of a hit or miss song, though. It's a miss at the beginning, and then once you get to the second and third round, it starts to get really crazy. So it's like, I guess they were trying to go for the more uncomfortable feel for how threatening JP is in general, because he's like the new face villain of Street Fighter 6, and now that M. Bison's completely dead, I mean, who's gonna run Shadowloo and his psycho power? This guy. Okay. Okay, this theme is actually pretty good. It's got like all the Russian instruments in the background with like electronic dub stuff going on in the background. Makes you just want to fight frickin' bears, all chest hairy and shit. This one's really good. This one's actually an awesome song. It really captures Zangief's progression as a wrestler, though, and I like how none of it is very based off of Street Fighter II's music, so it's more of a very Russian feel to it, though, with all the instruments and personality of Zangief. And not only that, they gave him more of a wrestling type body, because regular, like, muscle body fat kind of looks weird on Zangief, but soon enough, it's actually grown on me a little bit. And honestly, Zangief has never looked better in any other Street Fighter game this for a very long time. And it convinces me that I'm going to have to main him too, because it's either Ken, Guile, or Zangief for me. But if Sagat ain't going to make it, then we might as well have Zangief as a keeper. Lily's has a more Native American feel to it, though, since she is related to T-Hawk. So it seems like this would kind of be fitting more of the Native American culture for both T-Hawk and Lily. So, honestly, every time when I think of a Native American character in a fighting game, I think of either Nightwolf from Mortal Kombat or Thunder from Killer Instinct, because both of those characters are really cool. Yeah, this one's... Ah, man, I don't want to sound like a dick, but I honestly think this song's kind of mid, though, in my opinion. Sure, I guess T-Hawk wasn't a very likable character, but I guarantee you that Lily is 1,000 times better than T-Hawk, in my opinion, because I know there's going to be some old heads saying, like, oh, you prefer the new generation over the old. I like some of the old generation characters, just T-Hawk wasn't really that cool entirely for me, but Lily, on the other hand, I actually enjoy how she has all of this aesthetic to her, mainly. So, yeah, let's move on to Cammy now, the final theme. Alright, this one actually is really good. They stepped their game up with Cammy's theme. Yeah, it gives me like very Blade Runner vibes, but also has like the British English instruments in there here and there, but with the techno Blade Runner vibe to it. That's actually kind of sick. Definitely better than most of the other Cammy themes I've heard over the years, which doesn't have to over-rely on nostalgia. Cammy's theme and Zangief are actually probably the best ones out of the last 3 characters that they've had. But honestly, I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. I think the people who are talking about Street Fighter's music entirely, I can see why there's like some hit or miss here and there, like Blanca, Dalsum, Ken's themes. Like, there's other characters out there that have some really interesting themes and they're going for a different direction. Then there's the other ones that are easily forgettable, like JP's and Guile. But not entirely sure, but a few themes are actually surprisingly good. So overall, as much as I want to say it, Street Fighter 6's soundtrack is a lot better than Street Fighter 5's and 4's. So it's going for a very different feel. Because people back then, when Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and Street Fighter 3 came out, everybody hated that music. They fucking hated it. Now it's regarded as one of the classics of fighting game, like, Holy Grail, mainly. So, maybe when Street Fighter 6 is like 5-10 years old at the least, people are going to start looking back on it and saying, yeah, some of the music was pretty good. Hoy, but this is already going to be a long enough video. So I'm gonna just end it here. Anyways, That's about it. See ya.